made it in now. There's so many options to look through, but I gotta tell you, I'm not here for the books. I'm here to find mid-century modern items, and I'm gonna tell you how you do it right now.
This is my local used bookstore.
What in the world do all these books and mid-century modern items have in common? You can find it at the bookstore. Today, I'm going to show you mid-century modern finds that you can find at the bookstore for cheap. So let's get into it. I'm extremely happy because I love coming to antique bookstores, finding books about mid-century modern furniture and designers, and learning what each piece of furniture entails, how it was created, and the history behind each item. For instance, this mid-century modern book tells me everything I need to know about the period. Now, if you watched my videos before, I would tell you all the time, look for the coffee table books. Those are where the value is. And that's true. You do that in the thrift store. But when you come to these antique bookstores, they already know the value of these books. So instead of just walking to the back, to the coffee table section, and picking up coffee table books, I'm going to give you a hidden gem for you to find in an antique bookstore that can make you tons of money in the mid-century space. Now, before I show you that, if you can do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're enjoying this video so far, and if you want to see other videos on how to find mid-century modern items for cheap, you got to stay tuned. And to stay tuned, you got to hit the subscribe button. So please do that for me. Now, for those who are new to my channel, every time you go to the thrift store, look for coffee table books or books with great subject matter. For instance, artists. Picasso sells well. Architecture, design, all that you can buy for $2 and sell it for 30. I'm here to find mid-century modern items, so let me go downstairs and show you the honey hole. So in order to find the best mid-century items to flip, go downstairs, go to the area that has alternate publications. For instance, magazines, print ads, all of that is where you can make your money in the antique bookstore. Now in this store, there is a wall full of Life magazines ranging from prices of $2 to $8. $8 for the older items, $2 for the newer items. I know for a fact that if you put some of the older, more dynamic titles in your antique shop, you can get about $10 to $20 depending on what it is. So number one, that's how you make a little bit of profit for the mid-century titles. But now I want to show you where I make majority of my profit on mid-century modern items in the antique shop. Let's go right now. You have to stay tuned to the end of the video where I show you the best way to make mid-century profits on mid-century items in the antique bookstore. You got to stay tuned though. Now behind me, you see this kind of ragtag item section, whatever it's called. Essentially is the miscellaneous section in the bookstore. They have antique newspapers, vintage newspapers, and vintage advertising. And that, my friends, is where it's at. For instance, I know you just saw me sort through some of those vintage print advertising posters, whatever you call them, but here it is. This Nash vintage print advertising. I think this was in a magazine or something like that. Let's see if there's a year on it. Not a year, but this is 1956 right here. Now, a lot of these have prices because they were donated, so a lot of people were charging different items, but from my experience, they want $2 a piece for all these posters. That means you can take this It's in the mid-century period. Take this poster, put a frame on it, do whatever you want to. You can present it like this and make profits off of $2. Now, I would say you can get anywhere between $10 and $30 depending on how this is presented. $10 if you just put it like this, you take the sticker off, and as you can see here, that's what they were selling with it in the booth. $10 for this, you can make $8 on each print ad, or you put it in a frame, you make it nice, you can charge like 30 to 40 bucks on this. I mean, this stuff is cool, and it's art, and it's a little bit of just history. As you can see here, there's probably a stack of 10, 15, 20 of these behind there. Look, the Nash at the front. Here's an Oakland All-American 6 car advertising. Kaiser car advertising. Studebaker from 1952 advertising. So many cool pieces of advertising. Last week I found basically an advertisement on a washing machine, all from the mid-century time period that will appeal to mid-century collectors that you can get for cheap and sell for however much you honestly want. I know a lot of mid-century collectors who have everything except the posters, the advertising. And if you come to this antique bookstore, not antique, vintage bookstore, and find these items for cheap, you can charge whatever you want, and you can add to the collection of these mid-century collectors. And if you don't believe me, you got to. And you have to believe me, and you have to trust me. This works. I recently, like I said, picked up a GE vintage advertising poster in here for $2. I ended up selling it in my booth for $10 without doing anything to it. And if you find enough, $8 to $10 profit on each item starts to add up. So next time you go to the vintage bookshop or any bookshop, look for vintage advertising. Look for your coffee table books. You probably want to get a deal on that, but your vintage advertising, and that's where you can make a significant amount of profits in the antique bookstore on mid-century items. And if you don't believe me, you gotta try it. But if you look at me and say, hey, I don't think that's gonna work for me, I kind of want to go to thrift stores and find cool items, check this video out right here. I go to an amazing thrift store and find a $4,000 item for less than 50 bucks. And like always, peace.